What is up, everybody, and welcome back. We're back. Somehow we're back. In the world of worlds we go. Haha. Hint, hint. Welcome back to the Ahsoka Tano show, guys. We have a very exciting guest here today. I've been a fan of her account since maybe not the beginning, but somewhere in the middle of the world of worlds beginning. I have Michelle on. She runs the account ahsokaxtano on Instagram. She just has a lot of love on there for Ahsoka, and then she does Bad Batch. Everything of Star Wars, not just Ahsoka. That's what we love about her account. And we're going to talk about a very important topic. But first, before we talk about that important topic, please subscribe down below to the YouTube channel, The Ahsoka Tano Show, for more fun unboxings, reactions, breakdowns, sexiness, awesomeness, omega-ness, Grogu-ness, Ahsoka-ness, and all that Star Wars jazziness. Woo! I do the woo at the end. Woo.
I love it.
I know, right? I got to get the woo in there, Michelle.
Yeah.
But we have so Michelle, we're going to talk about, is Ahsoka Tano, our favorite Jedi,
Yes,
alive in the Rise of Skywalker, and why? I've talked about this in my previous shows I used to do on my podcast, just not face like this, just voice. I used to talk about it on the Scavoli show. Now it's called the Scavoli Tano show.
of course.
So yeah, now I gotta switch it. So I'm gonna start off with you and what you think. Is she alive, and why? And where could she be in 7, 8, and 9?
All right. So, like you, I mean, I've thought about this quite a lot. I think the minute that we all found out and heard her voice in the movie, it was like, oh my God, where is she? What is she up to? If there's one thing that I have appreciated from the sequel trilogy, it is the expansion of what we know about the Force and what we know the Force can do. I do think she's alive, because although all the other Jedi talking to Rey in that scene are dead, or, we know them to be passed on into the Force, I don't think she is, because I think the Force really does work in mysterious ways. So my thought is, she's out somewhere in the galaxy, just maybe she's like a Yoda at this point in her life, right? She's, so wise and just hanging out on like her own version of Dagobah. But she can sense, what's going on in the galaxy on Exegol and with Rey. So I think she reaches out because, like the other Jedi that connect with her, she wants Rey to know that she's not alone. So that's my thought.
Okay, you want to hear mine?
Yes.
So you hear her voice, and I yelled in the movie theater when I heard her voice. I literally threw my popcorn at the screen. I literally was like, get the fuck out of here. She's alive. No, she's alive. Oh, I woke everybody up. Like, everybody think I was sleeping in that movie theater. Or
Yeah.
attention. I woke everybody up. People were like, my friends were like, Chris, you gotta come. No, I'm not coming there. You heard that voice, didn't you? You heard it. I heard it. She heard it. I heard it. You heard it. Yeah, I was just a maniac in the movie theater. So Dave Filoni always says you don't have to be dead to talk through the Force. So that was my first thing. I was like, oh, okay. All right, that's good to know. But you could be dead, though, still, and talk through the Force. Like all we heard Jedi. Right. The only Jedi I feel like we didn't hear in that saying was Ezra. We didn't hear Ezra in there. We heard Kanan, we heard Mace, we heard Anakin, we heard Obi-Wan, Yoda, Ayla Secure, I think Luminara we heard. And then we heard Ahsoka. And then we heard Obi-Wan again and stuff like that, Yoda. And then Luke. So, with that, when Ahsoka does die in the Clone Wars.
Right.
She does die. So she is brought back to the light by the sister. Now, the sister is the light side. Mortis is the evil side. And the father is the middle. So when the father dies, they all die eventually because they're no longer around. The sister saves Ahsoka because she was dead. She was gone. Anakin would have turned to the dark side right there. We would have not got Revenge of the Sith. We would have got right there. So when she presses on Ahsoka, the sister, she becomes a light side Force user. She is the powerful side of the light side of Ahsoka. And then she gets a little birdie, Morai. And Morai, to me, people do not give attention to that bird. That bird is the most important thing in Star Wars today, to me. Because Morai represents the sister. So where Ahsoka goes, she goes. Wherever Ahsoka goes, like we see in The Mandalorian too, where Morai's sitting right there, and Ahsoka's like maybe 2 feet
Yeah.
back of Morai. And then we find out in Rebels she was going to die to Vader once again. But Ezra didn't save her. Ezra didn't even know she was there. Little Mrs. Morai saved her again. So, to me, Ahsoka is the light side of the Force because she has the light side sister in her. If she dies, right? She dies, Ahsoka. There's no more light side of the Force. She is the balance. And I hope we find that out in the World of Worlds with The Mandalorian, Rosario Dawson playing Ahsoka, or maybe we get it in an animated show with Ashley. Either one, I'm fine. I like Ashley, but I love Rosario. But Ashley, there's something about it when she plays Ahsoka I just love. And then we have Rosario, which I love too. I love Rosario so much. So to me, she is the light side of the Force. If she dies, there's really no light side. Like Darth Vader's dead, but there's always evil around anyway. But there's not every day you find a Jedi in the street, especially in 7, 8, and 9. You don't know where any of these Jedi are. So you get the Ahsoka series now. She's on the hunt for Ezra, Thrawn. So we find out whatever's in there. Maybe we'll start off with the World of Worlds because Dave Filoni opened it up and just was like, yeah, we're not going to do that again. Ain't nobody got time for that. Like, so to me, Ahsoka is the only one powerful enough to go beyond the World of Worlds. She's the keeper. That's why she has the staff.
I love it.
That is
in depth. That's very cool. Yeah.
Michelle, I'm gonna get Michelle thinking tonight. She's gonna be in bed and be like, that white kid had it.
I mean, it's. I've never seen Ahsoka as a representation of like the light side of the Force, only because, at least to me, the Force is light, dark, and everything in between. The Force, from the way that I've perceived it through the shows and the movies and the books, the Force is the Force. Its will comes through in many different ways, sometimes stronger as the light in certain characters or whatnot. So I think that's very interesting, your point, particularly the symbolism here, or perhaps a literal, transfer of the light side of the Force into Ahsoka when she dies and then comes back to life, and then the rest of her journey. You made me think. One of my favorite scenes from the 7th season of the Clone Wars is when, I think it's Trace, tells Ahsoka that Ahsoka acts like how she wants Jedi to act, which is just so... it's so good. It's so good because we've seen throughout the show and then leading up into the end of that arc, like how the Jedi have let people down, or how the Jedi have fallen from the ideals at which they once were. So I think that's kind of that's what you reminded me of when you said that, like, Ahsoka sort of represents the light of all the Jedi, or the light of the Force. Yeah, I love it. I love your theory. It's great.
No, because if you really look at it, like the Clone Wars, we don't get it in the shows, like the live action, the movies. In the Clone Wars, we get all that backstory, We get the Mortis arc. That's one of the most important arcs in Star Wars history. Because now Anakin sees what he becomes, but then it gets erased. Like, just so we know, if we get a What If series, I want one of those to be What If he never, like, the father never, like, poked him back to the light. Like, I would really want to see that. But with Ahsoka, after she was brought back, you see her change a little about her demeanor through the seasons. I think that was, what season was that? Season 3?
3. Yep.
3?
Oh Lord, I think it was season 3 for sure. I was trying to remember which episode. I think it might have been.
It was the end.
Either
episode.
12 or 13. Yeah.
It was like the middle to end episodes. Then we see 4 how she is. 5 she leaves the Order, but it's not her fault she left the Order. And then she comes back in 7. And you see this awesome animation, her grown up, her changed, and she meets Trace and Ralpha.
Yeah.
And I think she, like, has a symbol for them. Like, this is what Jedi is.
Yeah.
This is what I want to do. My favorite quote by Ahsoka is, when you find people that need your help, you help them no matter what. Now I live by that quote every day of my life. If someone's in need, I go like, what would Ahsoka do? Like, I just ask myself that
That's
question.
awesome.
Like, it's just like, all right, what would Ahsoka do? Would Ahsoka punch that guy in the throat or no? No.
Right.
She would be like, she would be smirky. She wouldn't fight, but if she got hands put on her, she would defend herself. So I think she's definitely the light side of the Force, because now there's no Mortis, there's no gods. So we know there's an evil side.
Yeah.
There has to be a middle, and we know what the light side is. If Ahsoka dies, you know, I want her death to be like, just she goes on. She doesn't get shanked. She doesn't get her head chopped off. She doesn't, like... You
want her to have a peaceful death, is what you're saying.
Death, yes.
Yeah, like, I think she deserves it, right?
Yeah, I don't think she should get shanked. You know, not like stabbed in the throat. Like, no, I just want her to be like her theme, and she just sees Anakin, and she goes, Anakin, and her theme. And that's it. That's all I want in life. But if she dies in hand-to-hand combat, I'll be like, really? Come on, this is what we're doing. Dave Filoni, are you doing this to your character that you created? Come on, man. Come on, Dave. But yeah, I definitely think she's the light side of the Force. And I think we'll find that out on the Ahsoka series that's coming. And then there's more to come. This character will be around, I think, for years too. Because there's no more. What else are you gonna make? Ahsoka is your big thing right now in The Mandalorian. And now her. Yay! We just have to, you know what now I want? Now we got Ahsoka holding my child Grogu. She held him. She picked him up and held him. I died. When I saw that scene, Michelle, I literally fell on the floor, cried, rolled up a fetal position, and was like done with life. Now all I need now is Omega meeting her, and I'll be set free. You know, I'll go with the Force this time. But that's what I think. I definitely think we're definitely going to see her in the light side in The Mandalorian.
That's great. Yeah.
I know. Just amazing. You know. What can I say, Michelle? Now, what do you think is going to happen in the Ahsoka series?
It's a great question. I honestly... I've thought about it a little bit, but I guess truthfully I've thought about what I want it to not be a little bit more than what I want it to be. I'm team animated Rebels sequel, so I really would prefer that it not stray too far into the timeline of the Rebels epilogue. I think it would just be so rewarding to have a sequel in animation. However, we sort of know that the Ahsoka show is going to be tied into the Mandalorian timeline, so I'm thinking that it'll either lead up to, you know, when we see her in The Jedi, that episode in season 2, or perhaps directly after, but before the Rebels epilogue. I'm thinking... I don't know. I think it would be cool to see her go on a bit of a spiritual journey, which there's that whole gap of time in between, right? When we see her meet Ezra in the World Between Worlds, and then when she shows up again in the epilogue, and she's sort of like Ahsoka the White, right? Yeah. She's got on this journey. Maybe we see some of that. Maybe, maybe it does get a little bit more fight and like action oriented, but I honestly think that I would be fine either way. It'll just be great, to see more of her.
Definitely. Even in they have 3 shows coming together. They have the Ahsoka, they have the Rangers of the New Republic, which I don't know if it's in production still, and another series that we don't know of yet. They will all come together for one climactic, epic, movie or one big hour-long episode. And I think that will include Thrawn. Definitely, Thrawn is the main thing coming up. They're going to do a lot with Thrawn. And I'm so excited because I love Thrawn.
Yeah, I mean, Thrawn's amazing. So.
I love Thrawn. His voice is just just speak to me. Just keep talking. Give me that niceness right now.
Become the voice on my Google Maps.
Just talk to me. Tell me everything's okay. So I love Thrawn. He's my favorite Star Wars villain. And definitely he's going to be tied in with that series too.
Interesting.
Ezra will show up. We'll definitely see Ezra. Sabine, definitely. If we don't see Sabine, I don't know what's going on with the world. Hera, I hope we see Hera again because we just saw her in the Bad Batch and she looked adorable.
Yeah.
But I would love to see an animated movie because they are making animated movies. Supposedly, rumors have it out there. But I hope they make an animated Ahsoka or a Mega or like Grogu. Like, I just want to see who saved Grogu from the temple. Like,
Yeah. Yep.
Like, if it was me, just show me like stealing him outside the back, like running.
I
Like,
love it.
with my hood.
Yeah.
But I hope we see all that in the Ahsoka series.
All right, interesting. So your team sort of live action to continue the Rebels story.
I am I'm not.
Hmm.
I like animated version better. I always do. Like, even like I wish the Rebels, when Rebels came out, they had the animation. But I love how they're adding like Rebels characters now into the animation that I love, because this animation was way better than we had in Rebels. You know? And I want more animated series. You know, the Bad Batch. What happens after the Bad Batch? You know, what are we getting after that? Whose spinoff are we getting?
Yeah.
I hope we get an Ahsoka spinoff, but I know the book is in with the timeline of the Bad Batch and then till the Rebels.
Right.
So that would be a little tricky with Ahsoka, because it's with the book.
Right.
Unless you just not make that canon no more, and then that's another big can of worms that you open, and then I won't mind it, because the book came out, I think, in 2010, right? 2010?
No, later than that. 2014, I think.
2014.
Yeah.
So it came out 7 years ago. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind if they reamped it, like they did already. They did with the Seeds of Mandalore. Like, they were not even fighting yet, and Order 66 was commenced. You know, so they already that's already not canon in the book. You know, that's different. But yeah, I want an animated show. I don't want. I could say this. I don't want Rosario Dawson to. How can I put it? What are my words? Die as Ahsoka. I want Ashley to do the death. If Ahsoka had to die, I want Ashley to go out, because Ashley started with Ahsoka. It's only fair to do it that way. Rosario gets it. I'll be a little upset. I'll be sad too, because she died. But I'll be a little upset that Ashley didn't get it. But if it's so, it's so. You know, I love Ahsoka no matter what. Live action, animated, she's still part of me.
Yeah.
Even Omega, like, if she goes live action, I don't like it, because I don't know who would play her, and it would look, I think, would look weird to me. I wish she just stayed animated, like Grogu. Like, I wish Grogu went animated. Like, he would look adorable. My God, he's adorable now. Just look at him in the animation.
Right.
But yeah, I hope so. I hope we get some animated films and more series. I hope Ahsoka. Hope Ahsoka shows up in the Bad Batch, but I don't think so.
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't think she would when the show was first announced and whatnot. And I mean, that episode with Rex, right? There was a whole bunch of just little teases in there, little references to her. I was like, I don't know. It kind of makes sense. She could make some grand entrance at the end of the first season. That's saying that hypothetically we would get more than one season of the Bad Batch, which I'm all for. But I was like, that would be very, it would be a callback to the Rebels season 1 finale where she showed up, which was really fun.
Yeah, the only thing I would think, because everybody's like missing the Jedi in this time, you know, everybody in the Bad Batch, everybody's like, oh, where's the Jedi? Like, my friends watch it with me and they're like, we want Jedi. Like, it's like, like, I know, but it's like, there's no more Jedi, really. Like, everybody has fallen, you know, and Ahsoka's in hiding, Obi-Wan's protecting Luke. We know where Darth Vader is, you know, Darth Vader will show up. But my thing is, Ahsoka would have to show up at the end episode. Leave it on like a cliffhanger and go in and with it, and like the Bad Batch are talking to someone and she's like, my name is Fulcrum, and end it right there, season 2.
Yeah.
That's how you would have it. And then,
I know, and some of the animated shows rarely do like a really strong cliffhanger. Like, even, you know, most of the finales or even just the episodes they all had like a story that felt very like from start to finish every episode. That would be wild if we had some sort of like really strong cliffhanger and then had to wait a while for the second season. Oh, I wouldn't be able to handle it.
No, that's what Star Wars does stuff. That's what they do. They leave it on a cliffhanger. Just like season 2 of The Mandalorian. Like, everybody was on the ship, and now Grogu's left with Luke, and now where we go from here? How we leaving? Like, and then you get Boba Fett. They got Boba Fett's show now, but like, Like, how are they gonna, like, now from season 2 into season 3? Like, how is that gonna transpire? Just like with like the Ahsoka series when it comes out, like you leave it on cliffhanger, but then you're like, oh, we wait 3 years for it. What? We don't want to wait 3 years for it. We want to wait. We want to get it now. So like with the Bad Batch, if they do leave it on a cliffhanger, it'll be very like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But I know season 2 is. I think they're done. I think they're good for season 2.
I hope so. Yeah.
I hope so too, Michelle. Be done. But yeah, that's our predictions, guys. Any more thoughts, Michelle, before we go?
I don't think so. I think we covered it.
Michelle, before we go, where can everybody find you on the social medias?
Sure. My Instagram handle, very unoriginal. It's ahsokaxtano on Instagram. You can find me there.
And guys, you can find me on wherever Scavoli Tano is. Ahsoka Tano store, Ahsoka Tano show, whatever. Just look up my name, you'll find it. I think there's only one Scavoli in this world, and it's me. So we know. Michelle, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun.
I really appreciate it. Come back anytime to talk Ahsoka. Maybe when the Ahsoka series comes out.
Yeah, right? We'll have to revisit our predictions and see if we were correct.
Yeah, well, this will be like a year, and then once it comes out, I think it comes out next year, it's 2022, so a year from... So we'll be good. But thank you for coming on. I love your account. Love everything you do for Star Wars. I like when you post. I go, oh my God, she posted. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Love it. Guys, thank you for joining us on the Scavoli Tano Show. Please make sure you guys subscribe down below to the YouTube channel. Go support Michelle and her account on Instagram. And yeah, guys, be kind to one another. And may the Force be with you always. Bye.
In my life, when you find people who need your help, you help them, no matter what.